Okay, in this video, I want to comment on Teddy Atlas. Now, I was asked my opinion of Teddy Atlas. I'm going to first tell you people this. I was boxing when Teddy Atlas was with Customato. Okay? I started boxing when I was 9 years old. This was 1970. Okay? 1970. Most of you have no idea who Teddy Atlas is. Teddy Atlas is the Joe Rogan of boxing. Teddy Atlas is the Joe Rogan of boxing. What do I mean? I give my people a hard way to go, but I'm fair. Teddy Atlas is the Joe Rogan of boxing for this reason. White people think he's legit. White people think he's legit. Anytime you get some white guy who acts like he's a tough guy, right, and thinks he's putting some black guy in his place, white people say, yeah, go get him. That's what they do with Teddy Atlas. Let me tell you the truth about Teddy Atlas. Teddy Atlas runs his mouth. Teddy Atlas pulls guns on people, right? He has a thing of pulling guns on people. Teddy Atlas hasn't beaten anybody up. He ain't beating nobody up. Teddy Atlas made his career on what? He made his career on claiming that he trained Mike Tyson. That's how he made his career. Claiming that he trained Mike Tyson. I'm going to tell you people right now, Teddy Atlas was not the trainer of Mike Tyson. Now, of course, there's going to be, again, some white guy who's going to say, Mike Tyson said he trained him. Mike Tyson said he trained him. Mike Tyson has said a lot of things to try to make people feel good. Okay? Mike Tyson has tried to make up and apologize to Teddy Atlas for flirting with one of his relatives for I don't know how long. So, of course, Mike Tyson said some nice things about Teddy Atlas, right? So, I'm going to tell you what happened. This is how it goes. This is how it goes. You listen to me, because I'm going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. Customato trained Mike Tyson. But this is how it works. When you get to be a certain age, and Customato was an old man. When you get to be a certain age, well, he was an old man when Mike Tyson was brought to him. When you get to be a certain age, there's certain things you can't do. There's certain things you simply can't do. One of the things is you can't hold up pads, especially for a heavyweight, right? It's difficult for you to hold up pads because of the shock to your elbow. It's extremely difficult, okay? Now, when that happens, people like Customato, people like Ray Arcel, people like Eddie Futch, when that happens, older trainers let younger people in the gym who are their assistants, they let them hold the pads. But technically, the person who was training the fighter is really the same old guy. What Teddy Atlas did was he held pads. He held pads. That's what he did. He didn't train Mike Tyson, you idiots. He didn't train Mike Tyson. He held pads while Customato was giving him orders. Okay? Period. Teddy Atlas, if I saw Teddy Atlas, I would tell him to stop freaking lying. He didn't train Mike Tyson. What else did Teddy Atlas do? Customato didn't want to go to amateur tournaments. He dropped out of boxing. Let's understand. Customato dropped out of boxing because he felt that the mob was in charge of boxing. He had been out of boxing for a very, very, very long time. Okay? So he stopped even going to amateur shows. He stopped even going to amateur shows. So who took his fighters to amateur shows? Who took the van, put the fighters that Customato trained in the Catskills in New York, and took them to amateur shows? Teddy Atlas. Teddy Atlas. Why? Because Customato didn't want to go. But Teddy Atlas was not the trainer of Mike Tyson. He has used Mike Tyson to build a career for himself. To build a career for himself. Right? And you people, he's a great trainer. Let me say something to you about training. Right? Teddy Atlas is not Joe Martin. Now, who's Joe Martin? Joe Martin is the man who saw Cassius Clay and turned him into Muhammad Ali. Okay? That's a trainer. Teddy Atlas has never trained a person who walked in his gym, who knew nothing about boxing, and took him to greatness. He's never done it. Teddy Atlas has trained 19 fighters. 19 fighters. 19 fighters who were already pros and already good, who had already been trained by somebody other than Teddy Atlas. But you people, mainly white people, love Teddy Atlas. Teddy Atlas, Teddy Atlas. Well, how come he can't hang on to fighters? How come Teddy Atlas doesn't have a huge stable of fighters? Why? Because every time he trains with a fighter, the fighter realizes that he could have done what he did by himself. He didn't need Teddy Atlas. Don the Lawn, right? A man who fought Sugar Ray Leonard, right? Who was light heavyweight champion. Don the Lawn said training with Teddy Atlas was the biggest waste of his time in his entire career. Okay? His entire career. Why is it he could never hang on to a fighter? Never. And they never came back to him. Why? Why? Because he never really trains fighters. He doesn't teach fighters. And why doesn't he teach fighters? I'm going to talk to you. Let me calm down. There was a guy. He wanted to train fighters. I had to explain it to him on numerous occasions. He just wouldn't understand it. Maybe now he does. But I had to get him to understand. You cannot be a good trainer if you only know how to teach one style. A good trainer, and for sure a great trainer, has to teach people based on 3 different things: temperament, body type, and natural talent. Temperament, body type, and natural talent. You have to. You have to start with what the person brings to the table. You have to start with what walks into the gym. Teddy Atlas can only teach peekaboo. That's it. He can't teach anything else but peekaboo. He's not a great trainer. If you can only teach one style, and he doesn't even teach that great. Name me one good fighter. He taught the peekaboo too, from the very beginning to greatness. From the time that kid walked into the gym to greatness. Never knew about boxing. Took him right from nothing to greatness. That's what a teacher can do. I know this camera just, I'm hitting the table because I'm so irritated. I know the camera's probably going up and down, right? But you people talking about Teddy Atlas, great trainer. Teddy Atlas is a fraud. He's a complete and utter fraud, just like Joe Rogan. He's a Joe Rogan of boxing. So let me calm down and run it back to you one more time, succinctly. Teddy Atlas held the pads for Mike Tyson. The actual trainer was Gus D'Amato. Gus D'Amato happened to be too old to do the day-to-day duties, physical duties to train a young heavyweight like Mike Tyson. This happens all over. All over the world this happens. If there is one sensible person who knows what I'm talking about, whether it's the United States or the UK or any place else who knows what I'm talking about, please tell these people who know nothing about boxing that I am right. Older trainers usually farm out their day-to-day physical activities to assistants while they remain the trainers themselves. This happened with Gus D'Amato. It happened with Eddie Brutch. It happens as we speak in gyms all over the world. It is happening. Teddy Atlas made a career out of saying he trained Mike Tyson. Now, on the issue of him training fighters, when a fighter is already good, they call somebody in and they work with that particular guy. It doesn't mean that he taught the guy from scratch. When you are a great trainer, you take a kid who walks in, who knows nothing about boxing, and you take him through the amateur ranks, into the pros, and into the Hall of Fame. Teddy Atlas is incapable of doing that because one of the criteria you need to be a great trainer is to teach many, many, many styles. You must not know one style. You just can't teach anybody. You can't teach everybody one style. And the only style Teddy Atlas can teach is the peekaboo when he doesn't even teach that right. This is a fact. A cold-blooded facts. Now, who did train Mike Tyson after Customado? Kevin Rooney. Kevin Rooney. I've never heard one person who claims to know about the peekaboo, who claims to know about Mike Tyson, who claims to know about Customado. Again, these boxing fans just, they should be locked up. They should be locked up. I haven't heard one talking about Kevin Rooney. It is Kevin Rooney. Kevin Rooney, and Mike Tyson turned his back on Kevin Rooney. And one reason he turned his back on him was because Don King was telling stuff about Kevin Rooney. And maybe Kevin Rooney had a gambling issue. He probably did. But the fact that Mike Tyson turned his back on Kevin Rooney, I hope they talk now. But if he doesn't, it's a shame, because it's Kevin Rooney that took over the training mantle from Customado. And next to Customado, the one most responsible for the success of Mike Tyson is Kevin Rooney. It's Kevin Rooney. But Teddy Atlas is a thief. He's a reputation thief. He is somebody that built a career, a freaking career, on the back of Mike Tyson. And I swear to you people, he was never, ever the trainer of Mike Tyson. He was a pad holder, and he drove the van from the Catskills, New York, to amateur shows for Customado. That is it. That's it. He's a Joe Rogan of boxing, and that's coming from somebody who was boxing amateur when he was up in the Catskills. I know exactly what he did. Exactly what he did. And if I was in his face, he would try to pull a gun on me because he would know I was right. He's just another one of your heroes who's a complete and utter fraud. A complete and utter fraud who made an entire career out of one particular individual that he never trained. He held the pads for him. He might have held a bat for him, held the punching bag for him, and he drove the van that took those young fighters from the Catskills to amateur fights on the orders of Customado. My name is Safe Carmen, the walking encyclopedia of martial arts. I'll see you next video. Inshallah.